Hey guys, this is National Master Kevin Yang back at it with another video, and this time it will be a video of a chess club members games, and of course we've seen plenty of those, so let's get right to it. So white starts out with e4, so e4 is what our chess club member picked, and let's see what happened here. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. So this is all normal. Knight c3. Now this is what we call the three knights opening. And if we want to convert into the four knights, black plays knight f6. But I thought, okay, maybe I don't want to play the four knights. I'm going to play bishop b4. And then the reason is because one day, when I get this knight out, I'm going to chomp here and then chomp here. So that's the simple idea. Another reason is simply because I want to get this bishop out. I could get it here, right? Let's say I got it here. So what would happen? The center fork trick. The center fork trick being knight takes, d4. The center fork trick. And usually this is better for white if white's able to do it successfully. So I avoided the center fork trick and I went with bishop b4. So obviously white has a few options here. Bring the bishop out. Maybe try to get the bishop here fianchettoed, right? Fianchettoed means, bringing out this way, like creating this secret diagonal, not bringing out the normal way, but fianchettoing it. Another move is probably to move this knight as well, threaten the bishop. And after knight takes, knight takes pawn. That could work as well. But instead, white chose b3. And the reason why I didn't quite like b3 was I like the intention, bring this bishop out. But if, let's say, I want to play here and here, and you bring this bishop out and you play pawn up, black will just cement the structure and this bishop will look kind of weird here. So for example, knight here, bishop here, and then I played castles. You want to throw the pawn, right? I just play pawn up. And there's not really a way you can challenge these squares with some sort of pawn push at all. There's no pawn push there. So the only thing I would see with this bishop is he's locked out, right? He can't go here, the pawn's right here, he's stopping him from doing everything. So I consider, keeping the bishop on this diagonal. So that's why I thought b3 was a little bit inaccurate, but it was good intention to try to bring the bishop out. So b3, knight f6. So remember what I'm threatening. Take, knight takes. Bishop b2. And I play exactly that. Takes, knight takes. Now here we have to consider many issues. For one, you need to consider if this move works. But let's look at bishop takes, knight takes. Knight takes, queen e7 sets up this powerful battery. We don't know if we retreat, knight check, and wabam, right? It's good night for this queen. But let's say d4. Then queen b4 comes in. And that's terrible as well. So we don't want that. So the correct move here for white is queen 2. But that's so hard to spot. we already can see that bishop takes pawn isn't the greatest move. Now let's look at knight takes. We could think about knight takes bishop, so now this knight is hanging, but you do knight takes knight. I move queen, you move queen. You play check, I play check. So, it's really tricky to see that both knights are hanging. The queens are trading, and it looks all symmetrical, Just feels a little bit weird, but this is usually these odd things that we have to see that make us okay. Okay. So after knight takes, what about knight takes? And then after bishop takes, let's say, then what about queen e7? Now you can't go here because it's going to get chopped up, right? So let's say d4 happens. Same thing. F4 or f3, for example. Then you can play here. Take, take, take. Or you could play d5 as well to put more pressure on that pawn. Because notice, you don't have to capture that pawn right away because it's pinned. Remember? Queen to king, it's pinned. So that's the interesting thing. So our chess club member plays queen e2. Gives up the pawn. I'm thinking, okay, not bad. Take. Ooh, yeah, this was a mouse slip by him, so don't worry. So I gave back the piece. Castle. Queen e2. Now, the thing with queen e2 is, yes, we see the immediate threat. You want to do knight takes, queen takes. But the only thing we're missing is this, the rook skewer coming down, right? So, what I would suggest in this position is that before you make this threat, you want to see if it's a valid threat, if it's something you can actually follow through with. And second of all, you want to think, did I develop all my pieces before doing so? And I think in this case, one quick move you could make would be like bishop b5. And what this move does is that it threatens to take this knight and then take this guy. But of course, you want to castle first before you do it. So that's the thing. So another move is play d3. And the reason is because I want to play e4. But now that you play d3, I can no longer play this anymore because you just take. So that's also a really good move as well. So queen e2, I still played e4. The reason being, queen takes, rook e8. It's looking like dead meat. So that didn't happen, luckily. But I played e4. Threaten the knight. Now you know you can't take. Knight g1's the best move. But our chess club friend played knight g5. And sometimes you might not see something, but it was hanging. And that's not easy to see because, hanging pieces is something we have to get used to as chess players. Some people will make the mistakes, others won't. And at the high level, it's usually those small mistakes that make a difference. So hanging pieces, if you want to get completely better, you want to not hang pieces. But I have to say that if you're getting better at not forgetting to hang pieces, then you're in the right direction. So g3, d5. I'm building up my center. D3, knight D4. Coming in this way. Queen E3, knight F3. King E2, Queen H5. Setting up this battery. Like King D1 now. Now I play D4. And now this is a tricky part. He captures the poison pawn. Knight G5 comes out. Threaten this. Check it. So he gets the queen back. You get the bishop. But if white gets the bishop out, knight takes, bishop takes, and I can choose here. Knight takes and knight takes, or knight check and knight takes, both of which are good. I decided to go for this one, because why not? Bishop F3, now I have rook E8. And the thing is, if you want to come here and you want to try to trap this guy, right? You want to capture him next move, I've got bishop check. And if you move in, checkmate. But our chess club friend saw that, right? So bishop G2 could happen as well. Bam, bam, rook 1. Bring the other guy in, bring him in. So that was the plan if that happened. But King D2 happened, and I was able to get the knight out. Rook, I got the knight out. Another rook move, I got the knight in. So I want to do is I want to come to this square, right? I want to attack the base as well. H3. I could play here, but I didn't want to. Played C6. The reason I played C6 was because I didn't want this bishop to look this way when I was taking this. So that's exactly why I played C6. But another move could be check that I could have played, but those are both great moves. So now he plays, our chess club friend plays bishop E2. And I can take on C2. The reason being, takes. So that would be good. Okay, knight takes B2, H4. So prevents this. And I play B6. And the reason being is you take, I take this, and I'm fine. So the best move here is just to move the rook. But unfortunately our chess club member kind of forgot a little bit. And after takes, I take this with check. And next move, King D1 takes, but I take the rook, and I'm up. Rook, bishop, bunch of pieces, that's game over. So I would say, maybe B3 as a small inaccuracy. I would consider getting this knight out in the center. I would consider getting this bishop out and getting castled. Those are also great moves. So after this was a mouse slip. Queen E2. This was the second one of those inaccuracies as well. You saw the threat, you want to take it, but rook E8 was what you were missing. And so maybe, like I would suggest, either bring the bishop out, which is really good to follow our opening principles, or we can go with like something like D3 to prevent our opponent's threats. Remember the word for it, prophylaxis. 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 Yeah, it sounds complicated, but we're working on it. The rest of the game, pretty much, and